Hi everybody, this is Dan Stolebarger and welcome to this week's KFIR Middle East update. It's the week of November 2nd, and as you know, this is just a preview of the entire report that we have, but for you to access that entire report, you need to go to our website at holygroundexplorations.com, and you can click on the KFIR and link there, and you can get the PDF PowerPoint that again accompanies this, and of course it's free. So with heavy hearts we begin this presentation. As you know, it was on the last Shabbat that we had the tragedy that took place at Squirrel Hill. 11 people were killed, and the age range was from 54 through 97. And I remember my grandson asking me, so Saba, why were these people killed? And as Benjamin Netanyahu has stated, the only reason they were killed was because they were Jewish. So once again, we're dealing with massive rises of anti-Semitism worldwide, and as believers in Jesus and believing that God is not finished with Israel yet, I think it's time for us to all wake up and take a stand. Under the PowerPoint, you'll see the weekly headlines. Some of the statistics: anti-Semitism incidents rose last year 57%. Let that sink in. And then, Trump's taken a lot of heat, and, is he a supremacist? Is he a white nationalist or whatever? And it couldn't be any clearer. Trump at the campaign rally in Illinois made the statement, "The scourge of anti-Semitism cannot be ignored, it cannot be tolerated, it cannot be allowed to continue. We must draw a line in the sand and say very strongly, never again." And on a different note, and we'll go through, just give you snippets of everything that we're covering this week. In Brazil, the far-right candidate that was elected president of Brazil indicated that he will relocate Brazil's embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Now, I know that you've probably had your fill of everything that's taken place at Squirrel Hill. It's been all over the news. All Jews must die. There's going to be some articles here, obviously, about all of that. There's some comments by Israel's ambassador to the UN, to the United States, Ron Dermer, again concerning Trump and the things that are swirling about his statements. And this is Dermer's comments. "I'm not aware of a single non-Israeli leader that has made such a strong statement in condemning anti-Semitism," meaning he said to those people who seek to destroy Israel, who seek to destroy the Jewish people, "We will destroy them." And we'll leave that there. The Brits, it's just unbelievable. Once again, the craziness of anti-Semitism. The Baroness Jenny Tung, an independent peer in the House of Lords, has suggested that the Israeli government bears the responsibility for Saturday's horrific attack on the Tree of Life synagogue in Pittsburgh that left 11 dead. She responded on her Facebook saying, it's absolutely appalling, it's a criminal act, but does it ever occur to Netanyahu and the present Israeli government that it's their actions against the Palestinians that's reigniting this anti-Semitism? Somebody, I guess, might say that that's an anti-Semitic statement to make, but still I stand by it and make it. In other words, whatever disasters or tragedies or attacks are in the world today, it's very simple. just blame the Jews. That's where we're heading. Tragedy, ironic statement. It's the Torah reading of last week. It's the only day that the Tree of Life has their doors that are open with no real security. And it just happened to be the reading portion of the Torah that week detailed Abraham's open door policy. Switching gears, we'll talk about what's taking place in Gaza. How can we not? It happens every single week. There was an IDF airstrike that the Palestinians have said killed 3 teenagers between the ages of 13 through 14. Obviously, they're up in arms. Israel has said that these 3 were planning explosives, which the Palestinians denied. Islamic Jihad has vowed revenge, and they did that. Some 40 rockets were fired at the Israel citizens in the south, and that again elicited a sharp response from the IDF. You know, the bottom line of all of this is that Israel really has very few options when it comes to Gaza. You've heard the phrase, it's better to have the devil you know than the devil you don't know, and that you're fighting in a sense. And that's really what Hamas is in Gaza. It's the devil they know. Israel does not want to take over Gaza. Israel's not sure what would happen in the vacuum if they took Hamas out. And so it's a real tightrope that they're walking. But that's what the current situation is. And of course, no doubt we'll be covering something on this next week as well. Palestinian school books, you can read this article again from our friends at Palestinian Media Watch. We know that there'll never be peace until things like this are removed from the educational process for children. The Palestinian school books for grades 1 through 12 from the years of 2013 through 2018 indicate that children are still learning that a peaceful resolution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is not an option. How can we have peace? You know, I'm often asked, is it safe to go to Israel? And I just pulled this up. You can read the entire article by pulling up that PowerPoint once again. But did you know, and usually when people now ask me, is it safe to go to Israel? I say, is it safe to go to Chicago? 43 people were shot, including 5 who were fatally injured and killed over last Halloween weekend in Chicago. I mean, 3 months worth of shootings in 6 months worth of shootings in Israel doesn't equal this. A year shooting in Israel doesn't equal 43 people being shot. So the question is it safe to go to Israel? Usually I just sort of say, how about Chicago? Want to go to a Cubs game? Anyhow. The PA peace process, I'm kind of running out of time here. Once again, the PA now has made commitments that they're no longer going to recognize the state of Israel until it recognizes the non-existent state of Palestine on the 1967 borders. They're basically saying we're removing all negotiations or cooperations with all peace protocols with Israel. And once again, blah, 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 threats once again. And this is the so-called peace partner. 2 more things, I'll let you go. Breaking news. Love this. Iran, Tehran, strategic networks have been attacked. And here's the quote. Iranian infrastructure and strategic networks have come under attack in the last few days by a computer virus similar to Stuxnet's, but, quote, more violent, more advanced, and more sophisticated. The Israel officials are refusing to discuss what role they might have had. They remain silent. There's a lot of ways to deal with this crossing of the red line, and when Iran crosses, Israel responds. Last article, skunk spray. I couldn't help but add this last one. Regarding the Gaza border riots, Israel has developed the perfect weapon for this kind of invasion. It's called skunk spray, and it smells like a combination of dead animal and human excrement. It is 100% non-toxic and completely safe, but it makes people vomit from the disgusting stench, and that lasts on the affected person for about, listen to this, 2 weeks. And there's no way to get rid of the odor. There's actually a link here that you can check on to watch. The writer says, we need crop duster drones loaded with sprayers of this stuff and simply fly them down to the caravan and spray the crap out of them. They'll stop, they'll turn back, they will give up. And again, remember, non-violent, non-lethal, and totally humane. And then I ended with an article, or just a photo. It's entitled Wake Up. Take a look, and let's make sure we do wake up. Let's realize what's going on in our world. Let's be like the sons of Issachar that understand the times and know what we should be doing. And the one thing that we know that we should be doing is praying for the peace of Jerusalem. God bless you all, and shalom.